This is the moment every fan waits for. The countdown's over. The road to kickoff has begun.
Play is here to stay.
I'm not going to name names, Kevin.
From win totals to player props, from division races to MVP debates, we've got eyes on every camp and data feeding 24/7, breaking down every angle across the league. Every pick, every edge, every line that matters. SportsGrid. Your road to kickoff starts now.
He played with Bobby Mack, literally had a nervous breakdown the entire round, and by the time they got to the fourth hole, he was losing by a stroke. It was, you think Tommy Fleetwood's a train wreck. You should have seen what this poor guy went through yesterday playing with him.
Yeah, you know what I want to say in this too? Like, the winner gets the entire pot of earnings.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Paige Beckers. She does it night in, night out. She's been absolutely fantastic for a Dallas Wings team that really isn't going anywhere. We'll see what happens in regards to where they're going to end up in the WNBA draft, because obviously, if they win it, they're probably looking at our buddy, AZ Fudd, to be drafted next year.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circus Sports Million, Circus Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With two former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season.
In-game live has begun. I am Gabriel Morency. We're throwing it down on the SportsGrid Radio and Television Network. You like drama? We got more drama than an episode of Melrose Place going on in the Bronx right now. We got a 3-3 baseball game. The Boston Red Sox have runners on first and second. We're in the top of the seventh inning right now, and there are nobody out. The Yankees going to the bullpen right now. So chaos and drama about to ensue over the next hour or so at Yankee Stadium. The Yankees trying to extend the series in a similar fashion to Cleveland and San Diego. Both have extended their wild card series. It's wild stuff, literally and figuratively, that your season comes down to a two-game series. But basically, if you don't want to play in a two-game series, then win your division. I grew up in an era when you had to actually win your division, and there was no wild card. And, you won 101 games. Too bad. The Phillies won 103. You lose, they win, right? So we're in a new era right now. Everybody sort of gets a chance, so there's no excuses. But the pressure's on the Yankees, like big time. Like the pressure was on the Yankees in this game early. I thought if Boston could get an early lead in this game, that the Yankee fans would get like very tense and uptight, and it would just sort of have that aura in the air. The Yankees scored early. Crowd got into it. Boston have chipped away and come back. Right now. So we got a 3-3 baseball game. Of course, the Dodgers and the Reds are coming up, and we'll get into it. But quick updated number right now. The Boston Red Sox, the Yankees were minus 190 favorites in this game, which I thought was ridiculous. Now it's the Boston Red Sox who are minus 180 favorites in this baseball game. In game right now, the current number. And, wow, it just moved to 320. It just moved to 320. The Boston Red Sox, what are they in some sort of time warp? Cam Stewart in the house with us. What are they like? How ahead are they that the sportsbook just moved to 320? I'm like,
You're usually ahead of me by 20 seconds. I'm like, I'm seeing the same
even
thing.
Me,
so.
I'm like, what's going on? They hit a home run and we don't know it yet. But no, I'm pretty like I've got a pretty rapid feed going on here. They locked it. I think it was a mistake, unless it was a premonition or something. But it popped up minus 320. And I'm like, oh, they must adjust. But no, maybe, like I said, maybe it's a premonition. We had a premonition earlier tonight. And all right, so what just happened here? All right, it's a foul ball. It's a foul ball.
I'm seeing 136
they have runners
now, Gabe. Minus 136 on FanDuel.
They have runners on first and second, but they're looking to bunt, which I don't have a problem with. So they're looking to bunt, except it was a bad bunt. A lot of the players aren't good at bunting now. But the thing with the New York, we know this with the Yankees guys, they don't play good defense, right? And, a lot of teams don't, really. Like, Yankees get picked on for it, but for the most part, in the modern era, not many teams are good at defense. They're not really good at running the bases. They're not good at the fundamentals, right? They can smoke the ball, and, they hit it 113 miles off the bat. But they're not really good fundamentally. And I've always felt that baseball teams are not aggressive enough by forcing the other team. The Dodgers did it last year, actually, against the Yankees, right? The Dodgers did. The Dodgers didn't bunt, but the Dodgers admitted that their goal was to basically put balls in play and just sort of cause chaos. Hit the ball, make the Yankees, defend, catch it. And we saw, it sounds like primitive, but Aaron Judge dropped the pop fly in center field. There were a lot of just sort of little mistakes that the Yankees made that added up. And the Red Sox, they're a well-managed team. They're a smart organization. They totally get it. You see, they're constantly trying to bunt and just force the Yankee pitchers to field the bunt. Can you get down? Can you field it? Can you throw it to first base? Can you guys pull this off? And we saw earlier in the game they couldn't. Now there's 2 out, though, so they're looking to get out of this right now. And the number is dipped all the way to 111. Cam, that minus 320 was up so briefly that I think it was a blip in the computer. They locked it right away. So, like you said, right now it's basically a pick 'em again. FanDuel 111, 115, in-game total 8.5 right now.
What do you think about that total? I'm thinking, are we going to get some more runs with the bullpen? We saw with Chapman, he put 3 guys on. He gets out of the jam last night. We'll see. We're at 6 right now, 3 runs, top of the 7th. Boston might let an opportunity slip here, Gabe. The first 2 guys on, no outs here, but we still got a bat here. If they score a run, the Yankees could be in big trouble. I'll tell you, man, if the Yankees go down and 2-0, and they're out of this series, man, these fans are going to be peaking, Morency. I mean, absolutely going bananas.
They're always peaking and they're always freaking out, right? Let's be real. I don't know. I think a lot of them probably would sort of like Arkansas. I'm sure there's a lot of Yankee fans that literally dislike Boone that much that they think if they lose, that maybe Boone would get fired. I don't think Boone is the problem. I know that the Yankee fans like to pick on Boone. Cashman's the one that puts this team together. They're a fundamentally flawed team. And they send the same team and the same mentality out there on a yearly basis, and they expect different results. They're not suddenly going to learn how to play defense. They're not suddenly not going to get injured. They're not suddenly not going to strike out all the time, right? They did have bad luck with their pitching with Garrett Cole, so I understand that, but I don't know. I just don't think that they're that well put together. And they do spend money. Yankee fan gets upset about the money that they spend, but they are the 5th or 6th highest spending team in the league. I know that you could argue they should be the top, but they are, they do spend a lot of money still. It's not like people act like Steinbrenner's cheap or something. They're not cheap. They just don't sign the right players, in my opinion. And speaking of defense, there we go, right on cue. That's not their fault, though. That's not their fault. So, wow. Bases are loaded now, 2 out.
Wow.
Chisholm did a nice job.
That was actually a nice play. Yeah, he did. That thing goes to the outfield. It's a whole different story here. So that was actually great defense.
But at the same point in time, they didn't get him out. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They did it earlier where I was surprised where they bunted and Rodon actually fielded he didn't have a chance there. I'm not calling him out for that, but Rodon, I was oh, you guys don't have a chance on this. Rodon's not going to field this. He fielded it. And he had a lot of time to throw the ball to first base, but it was a bad throw to first base, and he put Chisholm in a bad spot. I don't blame Chisholm for the play. So the Red Sox have the bases loaded. Like we said, let the drama begin at Yankee Stadium. And this is going to be one of one of many like crazy plays over the next hour or so in this game. We're just getting started here at 3-3. I've got the Red Sox plus the money, but I'm also on an under 8. And Cam just asked about the total. I was going to say I'm hopeful, Cam, that this, my gut feel says as crazy as, I don't know, it seems like Boston are about to score here, but my gut feel kind of tells me that, no, this is going to end up 4-3 somehow. Somebody's going to hit a home run. That's what I was just thinking. That was going to be my answer, Cam. But now the bases are loaded, so it's easy for me to abandon my ship.
He's having a huge game so far. This is a very dangerous hitter. The Yankees better be careful with Story.
Yeah, I'm aware. I had one of my patented visions today, Cam. And unlike your vision of Tua to the Lions, my visions often come true.
Tua to the Lions. Yeah, that was a great dream.
Yeah. No, but they don't happen often with me. Like, people ask me, like, oh, like, I'm telling you, it was a vision. Point blank. I was walking down the street today, and I just popped in my head. I saw Trevor Story running the bases, and I heard in my head, Trevor Story with a big home run. I bet it, plus 575.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Well, Shadur, which quarterbacks are you talking about? Because there is some bad quarterback play out there, but the dude who can't beat Dylan Gabriel out for a job and can't beat Joe Flacco out for a job certainly can't lay claim to being better than any other quarterback in the league.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
MVP hopes, as far as my eyes can see, out of here. No way. No way. Not with what I'm seeing around this league right now. Josh Allen should be in front of him. He is. Herbert should be in front of him. He's not just yet. Jalen Hurts should be in front of Lamar Jackson. People may not want to hear that, but it's true. Jordan Love is in front of Lamar Jackson. That's a pump the brakes special. Come on now.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Major League Baseball has decided it is time to put balls and strikes not just in the hands of the umpires, but also the robot umpires, as they say. The ABS system is now officially in place starting next season. Now, keep in mind, they're not just throwing this out there. They have used this at the Arizona Fall League, and they've also used it at different levels of the minor leagues as well.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Everything changed at that point. They went and got Jonquil Jones, and they really had that triple threat monster team. That second year they lost in the WNBA Finals, 3-1 against the Las Vegas Aces. Year 3, they finally get over the top hump. And you can question whether they should have won the title with that foul call late in Game 5 that sent Breanna Stewart to the foul line.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
In-game live continues. I am Gabriel Morency. We're throwing it down. We've got big-time drama right now in the Bronx, a 3-3 game. The Yankees get out of the jam. Jazz Chisholm with a big-time play on defense. The bases were loaded, but he kept the ball from squibbling into to center field that would have added a run on the board for sure. So 3-3 right now. In-game total is dipped back down to 7.5, and that's kind of what my gut feel tells me, that this game is going to end like 4-3. Like, that's maybe it's wishful thinking because I have the under as well, but I kind of get the feeling that there'll be someone's going to hit a solo home run here. I think runs are going to be tough to come by. Somebody jacks a solo shot and is the hero on the way out. But we do have the Dodger game coming up with the Cincinnati Reds. And, of course, normally we open up the show with the opening pickoff. But, of course, with the bases loaded and all that stuff that was going on there, we had to keep our eye on what was happening. But let's start off. Listen, it's a light night tonight. I can't wait. We're less than a week away right now. So we're 6 days away from the start of the National Hockey League regular season. Although Ben McDonald and Jessica Mendoza aren't very excited about it. But that's another story that we can get to later on. But we're 6 days away, so it'll just be good where it's just not a baseball game on for bettors. Right? Like last night was great with the WNBA game, and we told you the Fever were playing with house money and weren't going to tap out and weren't going to go away. Epic game last night. But, we don't have the baseball right now. There's a couple of soccer games going on this evening. The U.S. Open Cup final, the Canadian Championship final. Those tournaments are sort of wrapping up tonight. LA Galaxy are playing like Tijuana in a tournament this evening. But we'll have at least, multiple NHL games starting on a nightly basis, less than a week from now, to go along with the baseball, the football, and NBA basketball training camps have started as well. All right, so we got a 3-3 game here. Let's get to the Los Angeles Dodgers. I'll start off with my first pick. We're going with the Los Angeles Dodgers here. We played the Dodgers to win the series in 2 games, and we got plus 120 on that. So essentially, I already have the Dodgers tonight at plus 120 instead of the massive price. But I do think the Dodgers are going to roll. I don't think they smoke them as much as they did last night. I think the Reds will punch back a little bit more, but I still think the Dodgers will win by more than the 1.5 runs tonight. The last 11 times that these two teams have played against each other, there's only been a 1-run game twice. All right, now, and also the Dodgers are now 6-1 their last 7 games this year against the Reds. And 5 of the 6 games are by multiple runs. I expect the Dodgers to win by multiple runs this evening. Give me the Dodgers minus 1.5 on the run line for my first pick. Cam, what do you got?
Yeah, I got the same pick as you too, Gabe. So we're both on Dodgers minus 1.5. But my pick, I'm going to go with the over in the baseball game. I like over 7.5. And I think it's just because of the Dodger bats. Their team total is also 4.5. You can go in that route. They scored 10 against a better pitcher. Cincinnati's going to be going through a lot of different arms tonight. We'll see what happens. But I'm going to tell you, Gabe, 8 runs. The Dodgers might get 6 or 7 themselves. I expect Cincinnati to get a few. So over 7.5 with the Dodgers minus 1.5.
Yamamoto, to me, listen, the Dodgers have Blake Snell right now. Blake Snell is pitching as well as anybody in baseball. But Yamamoto is one of the pitchers that I trust the most on the Dodgers. It was his first year in the big leagues last year. The dude's just got ice in his veins. He's very calm. He's pitched in big games, WBCs, World Baseball Classics. He's a stud. Like, the guy's just a flat-out stud. And there's a lot of the guys on the Reds, actually, that haven't seen him before, which is going to be a problem for them. The Reds hit 175 against him. And Yamamoto he's just dominant right now, guys. 34 strikeouts over his last 4 starts. Over his last 5 starts, actually, he's had 7 or more strikeouts. So his prop tonight is 6.5 strikeouts. You got to lay 50 cents on the juice, but look for Yamamoto to have 9, 10. You can play alt line strikeouts if you want tonight, but we'll just keep it safe and give you over 6.5 strikeouts. Yamamoto tonight.
Wow, we have some of the same picks, Gabe. I'm on that one too, but I got another one with Ohtani. He was an absolute monster, 2+ bases. It's a little bit juicy, but he might not hit a home run, but I'm expecting a double, a couple singles to get on base. I also like Max Muncy tonight, but I'm going to take Shohei Ohtani, who seems to be on fire. I think he can do it back-to-back games. Give me 2+ bases. It's a little bit juicy, but I think you'll get there.
I'm going to keep it with Yamamoto here, and it's 17.5 outs for Yamamoto tonight. And so basically it's 6 innings. Is Yamamoto going to go 6 innings in this game? I think he will. We saw last night, even when the Dodgers had the massive lead, bullpen comes in. Next thing you know, it's 10-5. There's a little bit of drama. The Dodgers are they're aware, of how important it is to win this game and not play the third game. They've got to play against the Philadelphia Phillies this weekend, right? And they've got to set their rotation up. And the way that it sets up potentially they could restart like everybody again, essentially, if they win today. They wouldn't have to start Ohtani tomorrow. So Ohtani would start in game 1 against the Phillies, Snell in game 2 against the Phillies, Yamamoto in game 3 against the Phillies, that they could set this up. The Dodgers are very aware of this. They're not going to want to put the bullpen into the game unless they absolutely have to. I'm expecting Yamamoto probably to go 7 guys, so I think we can hit the over 17.5. What else do you have, Kim?
I like that pick, Morency. One Cincinnati Red that really impressed me is Spencer Steer. Basically, one base, single, anything. He had an RBI the last game. He's one of their best hitters. If anybody's going to get it, that's, again, we're doing juice, but I don't want to lay the 2 bases right now with him. I think he's the guy for Cincinnati tonight. Minus 160, but I think he'll get at least a single in this game. So he's one guy for the Reds that I like, Gabe.
I bet on Steer last night to strike out 2 times, but he didn't. I won the Andujar strikeout prop last night. Steer is 1 for 5 in his career against Yamamoto. So he's seen him once. He played 1 game against him. He had 5 at-bats. He did get 1 hit out of the 5 at-bats. I do like Max Muncy tonight. Very similar situation. Muncy has only seen Lytle 5 times. He's got 2 home runs, though, in his 5 at-bats that he's faced against him. The Dodgers really haven't faced him. Like, there's not a lot of numbers. Like, Shohei Ohtani's never faced him before, which I think is a bigger problem, actually, for the pitcher. Normally, there's an advantage to the pitcher that the pitcher has over the hitter if they've never faced each other before. But when you're talking about Ohtani, I don't think the pitcher ever has the advantage.
Shadur, which quarterbacks are you talking about? Because there is some bad quarterback play out there, but the dude who can't beat Dylan Gabriel out for a job and can't beat Joe Flacco out for a job certainly can't lay claim to being better than any other quarterback in the league.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
That's a lot for a closer. 10. That's you're not a closer anymore if you blow 10 games. I mean, my goodness. That's
he's mentally broken too. Like, it's to the point where, like, Dodger fans aren't even mad at him; they're more mad at the Dodgers for putting him out there.
Putting him in.
Right? It's more so.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, guys, like, he's done.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Major League Baseball has decided it is time to put balls and strikes not just in the hands of the umpires, but also the robot umpires, as they say. The ABS system is now officially in place starting next season. Now, keep in mind, they're not just throwing this out there. They have used this at the Arizona Fall League, and they've also used it at different levels of the minor leagues as well.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Everything changed at that point. They went and got Jonquil Jones, and they really had that triple threat monster team. That second year they lost in the WNBA Finals, 3-1 against the Las Vegas Aces. Year 3, they finally get over the top hump. And you can question whether they should have won the title with that foul call late in Game 5 that sent Breanna Stewart to the foul line.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
In-game live continues on the SportsGrid Radio and Television Network. I am Gabriel Morency. Cam Stewart in the house tonight. Wetzel is off. We got Paul Bovey going to join us. We'll talk about the Thursday nighter. We've got the baseball going on, but there are other sports. Unfortunately, not really tonight. If you're hardcore, there is NHL preseason hockey going on right now. The Pittsburgh Penguins and the Buffalo Sabres are playing, and if you're really hardcore, there's AHL preseason hockey going on. Not just AHL, but AHL preseason. So you got There are a couple of preseason hockey games. But like I said, next week we'll have NHL hockey regular season games on, and the NBA is around the corner right now. So the nights will start to fill up again. But we got a pretty damn good baseball game going on right now as we speak. We've got a 3-3 game. Yankees just had a runner on second base, unable to cash it in. Updated number right now, the Yankees are minus 145 favorites. The Red Sox are plus 115. And we're in the top of the 8th right now. I'm on the Red Sox to begin with. I don't think it's a terrible bet when you're getting plus 115 here. My gut feel is the Red Sox are going to win this game 4-3. I already had my premonition of the day with Story hitting the home run, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did it again, actually. I think it could just be it's Trevor Story's day today type of deal. Or maybe it's Bregman right now. Like, I think somebody on Boston's going to smack a solo shot, or someone on the Yankees does. But I think it's basically the way baseball has become. It's kind of like, I hate to say it, but it's like next home run wins. It's like basketball with three-point shooting in the NBA. Show me the team that had the better three-point shooting percentage, I'll show you the winner. Show me the team that hit more home runs in a baseball game, in a playoff game, I'll show you the winner. I don't like it. I like small ball and I like real baseball, but the fact is, if you look at in the modern era, like the Dodgers last year, they hit 1 million home runs in the playoffs. The last time the Dodgers won the World Series, 4 years ago, whatever, against Tampa, same thing. Tampa and the Dodgers had the most home runs. Yankees had, right up there, the most home runs in to get to the World Series. It's kind of like we don't like the modern analytics of the game, but the numbers don't lie. And I don't know if it's a creation, if they made it that way, if it's a consequence of them just sort of the way that they want the game to be. But the fact of the matter is, if you don't hit home runs, it's very difficult to win. It's like a football team that can't, that needs to, go on these 12-play drives, right? If you can't come up with a couple of big plays on the drive, you're not, at some point you're going to make a mistake, over the 10, 12 plays. It won't work. Same thing in baseball. It's very difficult to just, I think the best example, Cam, is basically anybody that's watching the Cleveland Guardians and the Detroit Tigers play. They can't score. You could literally, put ghost runners on for these guys. You could give the Tigers and the Guardians, both of them, all right, we're going to give you the bases loaded with nobody out. They might get a run, each of them. They literally both cannot score. And it's it's old-fashioned baseball, and they're grinding through and stuff. And, yeah, it's fun to watch. It's competitive. But you can't help but think, dear God, they're going to they would get rolled playing against a team that can actually, swing a bat. And, Cleveland can't hit. Detroit can't hit. And it's I guess it's so bad it's good. Because it really is like that. Guys, the Tigers stranded 12 base runners today. Yeah. They have runners on first and third all the time. Second and third, second, nobody out. If you look up, I shouldn't say the Tigers don't hit, Cam. They do hit. They don't score. They'll get a hit. Every inning you look up and it's oh, wow, man, it looks like the Tigers have something brewing here.
We were doing the podcast, Dave. They had the bases loaded in the first inning. Nothing. Beatty got out of it. That's the whole thing. These guys do not capitalize. You're absolutely correct about this. But I'll tell you, the one series that's different, Chicago and San Diego, both of those games, pure unders. It's just been all pitching, no hitting. You see the scores in these games, 3-1. It's weird. The Padres, I expected to have a little more offense, but they're getting good pitching.
Well, when Mason Miller's throwing the ball 104 miles an hour for San Diego, that's some scary stuff. I like San Diego in this series because I am a Dodger fan and I know how good they are. It's sort of one of these deals where I believe that, I think our second best team in the NL West is better than the Cubs. That's the way I sort of looked at it. Wrigley, though, Cam, and everybody, Wrigley is one of the unique stadiums that matters. There's some places like Yankee Stadium. I don't think it intimidates players. I think it intimidates the Yankees more than the visiting teams, right? But Wrigley Field just has that weird aura to it.
Well, Shadur, which quarterbacks are you talking about? Because there is some bad quarterback play out there, but the dude who can't beat Dylan Gabriel out for a job and can't beat Joe Flacco out for a job certainly can't lay claim to being better than any other quarterback in the league.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
That's a lot for a closer. 10. That's you're not a closer anymore if you blow 10 games. I mean, my goodness. That's
he's mentally broken too. Like, it's to the point where, like, Dodger fans aren't even mad at him; they're more mad at the Dodgers for putting him out there.
Putting him in,
right? It's more so.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, guys, like, he's done.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Major League Baseball has decided it is time to put balls and strikes not just in the hands of the umpires, but also the robot umpires, as they say. The ABS system is now officially in place starting next season. Now, keep in mind, they're not just throwing this out there. They have used this at the Arizona Fall League, and they've also used it at different levels of the minor leagues as well.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Everything changed at that point. They went and got Jonquil Jones, and they really had that triple threat monster team. That second year they lost in the WNBA Finals, 3-1 against the Las Vegas Aces. Year 3, they finally get over the top hump. And you can question whether they should have won the title with that foul call late in Game 5 that sent Breanna Stewart to the foul line.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
In-game live continues. I'm Gabriel Morency, Cam Stewart in the house with us. Yankee Stadium on edge right now. We got 2 out. Nobody is on. It's the top of the 8th inning right now. So looks like the Yankees are about to get out of this, but that's the thing with playoff baseball. All it takes is one swing of the bat, especially in a tight game, right? 1 home run. And it's usually an unsung, like the dude today on the Guardians. They had 5 home runs all year, right? Like, you need the unsung player. Speaking of which, Tommy Edman is out tonight for the LA Dodgers, which, okay, Dodgers are already out without Will Smith. Now they don't have Tommy Edman. Like, the injury, no one's gonna bust out a violin for them. But the injuries are adding up for the Dodgers, and they need Tommy Edman for this weekend. And they can't look past the Reds tonight, actually. But the Dodgers aren't, which I like. Like, the Dodgers are saying all the right things about the Reds worry them, and the Reds are good and young, and they're fast, and they got to bring their A game tonight. So all that stuff is out there. Let's bring in a New Yorker that's no longer in New York. Paul Bovey steps up and in to join us. What's going on, Paul? How you doing tonight?
All I know is Bob Gibson was never on a 102 pitch count. And I'm sure you guys have discussed it. I didn't understand the move yesterday, but what do I know? I'm not a baseball aficionado.
Especially in a playoff. And you know what's crazy? You're paying a guy $250 million. Like, use him. Like, there's no use of saving him, right? Like, if you can't, like, that's baseball, though, right? Every decision gets micromanaged. And we got big drama here, 3-3. Do you dabble in baseball betting? I know it's not your forte, per se, Paul, but I know you like to, you bet some futures every now and then. Did you bet any baseball at all?
I bet playoffs, and today I was fortunate because I stepped in on Cleveland when it was, I believe it was 1-1. So I cashed a ticket. I don't know how many I'm going to be cashing, but I will be stepping my toe in the water, or whatever you want to call it, over the course of the next few weeks. But there's nothing like baseball postseason, hockey postseason. It's just going to get me interested, whereas during the regular season, 162 games, come on, man. That's
it's a lot of following.
It's just a lot. It's a lot.
It is an easy baseball. I've always said baseball is like a soap opera, Paul. You got to watch every day, or else you're going to lose track of the script. And, like, baseball carries over, right? Like a basketball game really won't carry over. Football, baseball does. It's like, oh, yeah, they used all their bullpen last night, so they can't use them. There's all these little intricacies that you need to know of what happened previously that you don't. That's why NFL football is so popular with the average person betting, right? They all think they know something. It's only on once a week, right? There's different levels of how much work they're going to put into it. But I guess, Paul, that's the difference. You're the consummate professional, not a degenerate weasel. A lot of people will be like, "Hey, I won the Cleveland game. Let's roll it over on the Cubs San Diego game." You said, "No, I won my baseball bet for the day," and you tapped out.
Yeah, exactly. I got plenty of football for this weekend. I've done some damage. I've moved some numbers. I worked on the Iowa State-Cincinnati number over the last day, and the total has surged 1.5, and I'm not lying. So I get myself in enough trouble without baseball.
Let me ask you, Paul, and I understand it's a competition, so without giving away a competitive edge, but it's still early in the season. Tough Survivor week this week, Paul, like for an early season, right? And I guess there are some people that held on to some teams, but there's really not too many games that have like that sort of slam dunk big point spread. Like there's going to be a lot of effing people out there this week. They're going to be sweating out an Arizona Cardinal game.
Let me tell you, Gabe, I'm glad I'm done with the Buffalo Bills, and I'm not upset about it because they look vulnerable. I cannot believe this team is 4-0 because they could easily be 1-3. They go on their heels, and I can't believe they have not one but 2 double-digit victories in games they could have very well lost.
I brought it up, Paul, and it surprised people because everyone knows I'm a diehard Buffalo Bill fan. And I said, I don't really know how good the Bills actually are. I said, they're kind of like a college football team that have played a bunch of cupcakes. Look, they beat Baltimore in week 1, and they were getting bullied in that game. They came back and beat the Baltimore Ravens 41-40. Everybody is beating the Baltimore Ravens. We see subsequently the Ravens defense is terrible. What are their other wins, Paul? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are their... All right, you beat the Miami Dolphins. All right, you beat the New Orleans Saints. Like, underwhelming. And they're now on an 0-8 run as a 10 or more point favorite at home against the spread, which tells you it's a dangerous way to live, isn't it, Paul, that you look down at the level of your competition. So you're saying, you know, because I already played the Bills, and I'm in a few survivors. I've already played them as well because I don't like to, like, think of the future too much. They might have stuff locked out, but you're saying that you're glad you're done with them because you don't want to have to worry about them anymore.
I don't trust them. I didn't trust them against New Orleans, and I held my nose, pressed the button, and got rid of them. Let me tell you something. They were in the lead 14-10, and New Orleans is driving right before the half. Turn the ball over at the 1-yard line. Then, fast forward to the second half, it's 21-16. There's a touchdown. It's going to put New Orleans in the lead. Oops, it's not a touchdown. It was ruled a no catch, 21-19. Buffalo goes on, scores the last 10. And on the strength of one drive, there was a 27-yard run by Josh Allen and a 28-yard reception by Kincaid. And that was basically the difference. But this team has been on their heels in 3 games. I had them also against Miami in Survivor. And that was a sweat job, Gabe. It was a total sweat job.
What do you think this week, guys, about the Patriot game? They have underachieved as double-digit favorites, but the difference is they don't like the Patriots, Paul. I personally, and I was scared last week too. I didn't like laying the points in the Bills game, and I sort of warned people, hey, double digits, the Bills play down to the level of their competition. But this is a division game, and they don't like the Patriots for real, right? I mean, the Patriots beat them up so much over the years. Are you more confident this week with the Bills, or are you flat out, no, you don't want to bet on them, you don't trust them?
Gabe, you pointed it out. They gave up 8.2 yards per carry to the Ravens, 5.6 yards per carry to New Orleans, and then it was 5.2 the prior week against Miami. Only the Jets did they hold under 5 yards per carry, and that was 4.8 on the strength of a wide receiver end around that went for a loss of 10 yards. It would have been over 5. They can't stop the run, and without Ed Oliver in the lineup, their pass rush has definitely been weakened. And, of course, Matt Milano is a key in terms of linebacker protection, pass protection against the tight ends. I don't trust them here. I don't. Now, the Patriots got back Christian Gonzalez, so their pass defense has been shored up because in the first 2 games, they allowed 50 completions in 66 attempts, and it got better last week. So I don't trust the Bills here. They could easily lose. Stevenson could go off for 120 yards.
Paul Bovey so we still have a 3-3 game in the Bronx, and we've got a lot of live movement. On the other side, we'll get Paul's thoughts on the Thursday nighter. We'll recap our Dodgers Reds picks that are coming up. I don't care about what time they start these games at, but the stunted start times are annoying. Like, the games are starting, you got bases loaded, you're like, oh, I got to get my bets in this other game. Not everybody's rich. Some people, like, they have their bets, like, you don't have time to carry over and stuff. These games come at you fast, man. They're spitting them out, like, every couple hours. But we got big line moves. I see FanDuel right now has a 7.5. Hell, Bet365 has an 8.5 up right now.
Wow.
For San Francisco and Los Angeles. What are the cheerleaders, the offensive line tomorrow for the 49ers?
Well, Shadur, which quarterbacks are you talking about? Because there's some bad quarterback play out there, but the dude who can't beat Dylan Gabriel out for a job and can't beat Joe Flacco out for a job certainly can't lay claim to being better than any other quarterback in the league.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
That's a lot for a closer. 10. That's you're not a closer anymore if you blow 10 games. I mean, my goodness. That's
He's mentally broken too. Like, it's to the point where, like, Dodger fans aren't even mad at him; they're more mad at the Dodgers for putting him out there.
Putting him in,
right? It's more so.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, guys, like, he's done.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Major League Baseball has decided it is time to put balls and strikes not just in the hands of the umpires, but also the robot umpires, as they say. The ABS system is now officially in place starting next season. Now, keep in mind, they're not just throwing this out there. They have used this at the Arizona Fall League, and they've also used it at different levels of the minor leagues as well.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Everything changed at that point. They went and got Jonquil Jones, and they really had that triple threat monster team. That second year they lost in the WNBA Finals, 3-1 against the Las Vegas Aces. Year 3, they finally get over the top hump. And you can question whether they should have won the title with that foul call late in Game 5 that sent Breanna Stewart to the foul line.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Well, the immortal words of Keith Jackson. Whoa, Nelly! The New York Yankees have taken a 4-3 lead. 4-3 Bronx Bombers right now. Bottom of the 8th inning. 2 out. Runner on first base. We'll see if they can hang on to the lead. We said we thought when it was 8-9. I said, yeah, I think this game's going to stand up 4-3. I'm on the Red Sox, so we'll take it. Man, that barely fair, too, to baseball gods. That was a nice bounce. It just, like, it was barely a fair ball down the first baseline. Chisholm and his speed gets there. Chisholm's made some plays tonight, actually. Nice play by keeping the ball in the infield. That would have scored a run. Very few Yankees. How many Yankees have the speed that he does that would have been able to score on that play? So we got a 4-3 baseball game right now. So we'll keep our eye on this. We got Paul Bovey in the house with us as well. We'll get back to our Dodgers and Reds picks in about 10 minutes. We'll recap our picks before the game. But as far as tomorrow, Paul, I know you're always on top of the injury report, but it's been a busy one and an active one for the San Francisco 49ers, as it always is, seemingly. So I don't feel bad for them. They bring back the same players that are hurt all the time, so I don't feel bad for them. And there's another base hit for the Yankees. What do you any interest in a Thursday nighter or too many injuries to put you off this football game? What's your take?
No, I'll tell you what I did. About an hour and a half ago, when the number was still at 7, I worked in a few 6.5-point teasers. I'm very comfortable laying a 0.5 point against a team that's not only depleted on offense, but they didn't sack Trevor Lawrence not once on Sunday, nor did they hit him once. So defensively, now you're going against a guy like Matt Stafford, who's got weapons on both sides, and Adams and Nakua. I don't think they have a chance to stop this team because I think that offense is a little bit better than the Jags. The Jags have gotten better, but not that much better. They're not up to the talent level as the Rams. So I'm comfortable with the teasers. I found a few dance partners in there, and I'm going to run with that.
Just to put in context, guys, for who's out for the San Francisco 49ers, Brock Purdy has been ruled out of the football game, but I had a hot take that I don't really think there's a drop-off like between him and Mac Jones. So I didn't really think that was a big deal. But Ricky Pearsall out, Jawan Jennings out, George Kittle out, Nick Bosa out. But specifically that offense, Paul, just devastated by injury. So as you stated, you're comfortable with the Rams. You don't want to mess with the points, but the Rams will be part of teasers. If I don't mind asking, so who did you tease the Rams with?
I teased them with the Browns because when you have a low total like 37 and you can bring it up to 10, I had already played the Browns straight. But look, the
with
Browns.
Dylan Gabriel, I should note. Let me just, for people who are unaware, Dylan Gabriel will be making his first start in the National Football League.
All right. So is Dylan Gabriel better or worse than Carson Wentz and or J.J. McCarthy? I don't know. All I can say is this, okay? This you can say about the Browns. Let's discount the 1-3 record for a second. They have the number 1 defense in the league. Last week, the Lions totaled 277 yards, and that was the top output of the year against the Browns, which started in week 1 when they held Joe Burrow and company to 141 yards. So if Dylan Gabriel doesn't make a mistake, they should have a lot of success especially considering they're without Blake Cashman, Van Ginkel, and on the offensive side, they're down 3 linemen, including their best pass blocker in Kelly. And mind you, last week, Carson Wentz on 52 dropbacks was sacked 6 times and hit 14 more. So do you want to throw J.J. McCarthy to the wolves? Keep Wentz in there. But either way, Cleveland is better than Pittsburgh defensively. I know they have J.J. Watt, but Cleveland has a better pass rush, a superior pass rush. So I'm looking for a close game here. They should be able to hold Minnesota to 17 points.
I got a game I want to ask you about, but I'll give it to Cam. Cam, which game you want to hit?
Well, Paul, Gabe, I don't mean to be selfish, but let's talk about the Seahawks-Tampa Bay game, Paul. Seattle's playing great, but as we know, they've become an East Coast team. Gabe and I talk about it all the time. The Bucs and Baker Mayfield, magical, almost came back against Philadelphia, but Seattle needs like a vintage home run. They did smoke the Saints at home, but what do you think about Seattle at -3? Tampa Bay is probably going to be a pretty popular dog, Paul.
You know what? I was impressed with the Bucs last week because they could have folded. They did not. And, towards the end of the game, they could have covered. I actually took them live +11. So I cashed a ticket there. But the Eagles just couldn't put them away, and they did contain their running game. And by the way, Barkley has been hit behind the line of scrimmage 55% of the time this year. He's not getting off. Tampa Bay came back. They got healthy on the offensive line, or somewhat healthy. Tristan Wirfs came back. He's their best. Back in the lineup. They got Godwin back. Unfortunately, Evans is out 2 to 3 weeks. But they got Bucky Irving. And I would actually lean Tampa Bay here because they do have a defense, and I think they're going to give good old Sam Darnold some fits.
Paul, we've got about a minute and a half left here, so I'll ask you about your New York Football Giants. Optimism with Jackson Dart, and now they go to the Bayou, take on the New Orleans Saints, who did play with effort. Like, they're playing hard for Kellen Moore. We can't dispute that. What about the Giants? And, of course, Malik Neighbors out, though, for the year. What's your take on the Giants getting 2 against the Saints?
I had them Sunday in large part because the Chargers had problems on the offensive line. The Saints are playing decent football. They've given a few teams fits, notably the Niners and the Bills. Look, it was a lot of Jackson Dart running the football on Sunday. It wasn't a whole heck of a lot more after Neighbors went out. They kind of held on. I don't have a lot of faith here, one way or the other. I think the Giants have the better defense, but I'm not going to be on the game. That's basically how I'm going to approach it.
Follow Paul Bovey on X at Paul Bovey. Always good, Paul. Great stuff.
Take care.
Well, Shadur, which quarterbacks are you talking about? Because there is some bad quarterback play out there, but the dude who can't beat Dylan Gabriel out for a job and can't beat Joe Flacco out for a job certainly can't lay claim to being better than any other quarterback in the league.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
That's a lot for a closer. 10. That's you're not a closer anymore if you blow 10 games. I mean, my goodness. That's
He's mentally broken too. Like, it's to the point where, like, Dodger fans aren't even mad at him; they're more mad at the Dodgers for putting him out there.
Putting him in,
right? It's more so.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, guys, like, he's done.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Major League Baseball has decided it is time to put balls and strikes not just in the hands of the umpires, but also the robot umpires, as they say. The ABS system is now officially in place starting next season. Now, keep in mind, they're not just throwing this out there. They have used this at the Arizona Fall League, and they've also used it at different levels of the minor leagues as well.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Everything changed at that point. They went and got Jonquil Jones, and they really had that triple threat monster team. That second year they lost in the WNBA Finals, 3-1 against the Las Vegas Aces. Year 3, they finally get over the top hump, and you can question whether they should have won the title with that foul call late in Game 5 that sent Breanna Stewart to the foul line.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Well, we got a 4-3 baseball game. Thanks to Paul Bovey for joining us. But we got a 4-3 baseball game right now. And we're looking for at least a split here. So the Yankees and be big-time drama. If you're the Toronto Blue Jays as well, you want this. That's one thing I just want to throw out quickly. You don't have a nice matchup either way if you're the Blue Jays. It is what it is. Yeah, you're the higher seed. You've won more games than these teams this year, but the past pedigree the Yankees are the Yankees. They were in the World Series last year, right? The Yankees have played a lot of playoff games, and they've won playoff games. They didn't win the World Series, but they've won a lot of playoff games over the years. The Boston Red Sox, this unit that they've just kind of thrown together, really not a playoff, they don't have playoff experience, but they have a lot of guys with playoff experience, right? Like, yeah, the team hasn't made the playoffs in a couple of years, but, Trevor, they got a bunch of dudes that have been in the playoffs before. Grizzled vets. Like, the Red Sox aren't really that young. How many young dudes they have, right? They got a lot of grizzled vets, and they own the Toronto Blue Jays. They always beat the Toronto Blue Jays, right? And for whatever reason, the Blue Jays beat the Yankees more than they lose. So, like, Blue Jay fans don't want to say it because they don't, you don't want to give the bulletin board material, but it, Cam, like, you're a Blue Jay fan, and even I know, listen, the Red Sox always beat the Blue Jays, but beating the Yankees won't be easy either. Like, the Blue Jays choke. Let's call it out for what it is. They haven't done it in the playoffs before, the Blue Jays. You saw it against Seattle when they blew the 7-0 lead, and they don't have Bichette coming back, which is a big loss. Like, people, he'll be back. I was like, no, he won't, and he's not back. Their offense really struggled down the stretch. They got to find lightning in a bottle this weekend, but let's get back to that in a minute. What are your props for the Dodgers game?
Yeah, basically, Gabe, we have the same ones that we gave off the top of the show there. So Yamamoto strikeouts, I think, is a good one, even with juice. And you talked about it, Morency. The guy's on fire. He's a very, very solid pitcher. I think Cincinnati will have some free swingers and a lot of strikeouts. I'm expecting like 9 or 10 tonight. So over 6.5 looks good to me. What else? I went with Ohtani, 2+ bases. I also like Max Muncy, Ohtani and Muncy, but I'll take Ohtani, 2+ bases. LA Dodgers, Cincinnati, over 7.5. I think the Dodgers can almost hit the total themselves and steer 1 base for the Cincinnati Reds. All he has to do is get on base. So, and I have the Dodgers -1.5 as well.
So last night, we really gave a lot of picks. We had 9 props for the Dodger game, and we went 7-2 last night. I'm going to kind of go back to the same format for the most part, but it's pretty much the numbers aren't there, basically, right? There's not a lot of data here, so it's hit or miss. Who's going to show up? I kind of know, like, who are the big game players for the Dodgers. Like Ohtani, last night you were getting Ohtani over 1.5 total bases at -115, right? Which is pretty crazy, actually, right? And he hit a home run to lead the game off. So I'm going to play Max Muncy to hit the home run. And Muncy is not, like, super hot or anything right now. He's got 1 home run in his last 5 games. But he's got 5 at-bats against Lytle, and he's got 2 home runs in the 5 at-bats. And it's one of these gut feels that Muncy's going to go deep tonight. Teoscar Hernandez is one of these dudes that leave out of your plays at your own peril. Like, we always talk about, like, all right, but you guys know, I always just basically play the trifecta, right? Over bases 1.5, Ohtani, Betts, Freeman. And in the playoffs, they're going to raise the level of their game. But Teoscar Hernandez is a monster. Like, all he does is just hit home runs in the playoffs. So, like, you can't, I guess I was going to say you can't play everybody, but I guess technically you could. But love the pitcher strikeout prop tonight. Over 6.5 for Yamamoto. He's had 7 or more strikeouts in 5 straight starts. He's got 34 strikeouts over his last 4 starts. The strikeouts have been there. We talked about it last night. The Cincinnati Reds strike out 23.3% of the time. They strike out like 8.5 times a game, but they even strike out more on the road. They strike out 9 times a game. They basically strike out 1 time an inning. We like the total outs here tonight with Yamamoto. And one thing, guys, this game, they do not wait. Like, they're going to start. Like, even though this Yankee game's going on, it's coming to an end soon. So there's 1 out. Top of the 9th inning right now. Yankees nursing the 4-3 lead right now. So, yeah, guys, Yamamoto over 17.5 outs. So, basically, will Yamamoto go 6 innings? I think he will. Here's a good one, too. Yamamoto to record the win is -105. If he's going to go 6 outs, I think he's going to record the win. All right, so Mark Zinno's going to join us. We'll see what Mark Zinno has to say about this game. And the Yankees.
Shadur, which quarterbacks are you talking about? Because there is some bad quarterback play out there, but the dude who can't beat Dylan Gabriel out for a job and can't beat Joe Flacco out for a job certainly can't lay claim to being better than any other quarterback in the league.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
That's a lot for a closer. 10. That's you're not a closer anymore if you blow 10 games. I mean, my goodness. That's
He's mentally broken too. Like, it's to the point where, like, Dodger fans aren't even mad at him; they're more mad at the Dodgers for putting him out there.
Putting him in,
right? It's more so.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, guys, like, he's done.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Major League Baseball has decided it is time to put balls and strikes not just in the hands of the umpires, but also the robot umpires, as they say. The ABS system is now officially in place starting next season. Now, keep in mind, they're not just throwing this out there. They have used this at the Arizona Fall League, and they've also used it at different levels of the minor leagues as well.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Everything changed at that point. They went and got Jonquil Jones, and they really had that triple threat monster team. That second year they lost in the WNBA Finals, 3-1 against the Las Vegas Aces. Year 3, they finally get over the top hump, and you can question whether they should have won the title with that foul call late in Game 5 that sent Breanna Stewart to the foul line.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
And we will be playing 3 games between the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees. The Yankees win. 4-3 final score. Yankees were minus 190 favorites, so there was pricey. But the game ends up staying under the number somehow, which is quite incredible considering how many runners were on base over the last couple of innings. So we end up getting the split in this baseball game. I'll take it. It could have been worse. I'm surprised that it did end up staying 4-3. But we kind of had a feeling that one run would be the difference. And we already have a number posted for tomorrow, but we don't really know the Boston Red Sox starting pitching situation tomorrow. There's going to be multiple arms, essentially. Giolito is out. So this is where, they were hoping to win in 2. So this is where it's going to come into play. My guess is, I don't know if they want to start the kid early and hope for the best, but we got Mark Zinno here right now to step up and in this game. And the Dodger game hasn't started yet, so we can bang off our props too. So for the record, though, guys, Schlittler on the hill for the Bronx Bombers tomorrow, minus 162. FanDuel's got the Yankees, minus 162. Boston Red Sox, plus 136 right now. Total is 8. As far as the Dodger game is concerned, you know what we're doing. We got the Dodgers minus 1.5. We already have them to sweep at plus 120, so we sort of have them on the money line already. We're going to lay the 1.5 with the Dodgers. Yamamoto over 6.5 strikeouts. Yamamoto over 17.5 outs in the game. Max Muncy to hit a home run plus 375. Max Muncy over 0.5 total bases. And then I said earlier, you can't play everybody, but you kind of can, right? And you're even getting plus money, so why not, actually? So we ended up doing it. Ohtani isn't plus money, but we got Ohtani over total bases, 1.5, minus 130. Teoscar Hernandez over 1.5 bases, plus 125. Freddie Freeman over 1.5 bases, plus 105. And Mookie Betts over 1.5 total bases at plus 100. So, we don't need a ton of production from these guys, a double, whatever, and you're getting plus money. We don't have to hit them all. Let's bring in Mark Zinno right now. Mark, we'll get to the Yankees and Red Sox game, but let's send it to Chavez Ravine right now. What are you doing with the Dodgers and Reds? Players, side, props? What do you got on this game?
Dodgers team total over 4.5. There's nothing about this Reds pitching staff that makes me believe that they can slow this Dodgers team down offensively. And last night should have been an indicator of that. Zach Littell is not the guy that you want to believe can stop the Dodgers. Sorry, that's not it. I'm not sure why Andrew Abbott is not going today. I don't know if it's on short rest or whatever it is. I didn't check the Reds rotation, but if it was him, we might have a little bit of a different conversation. But if there's a Zach Littell total outs prop here, I would probably play the under.
His strikeout prop is 2.5, which is kind of indicative of what they're thinking.
Right?
2.5.
That's low.
Yeah, it's 2.5.
Wow.
Well, usually strikes out 3 or 4 in that sort of range here. But there's been some strange pitching selections here. But I will say, Mark and Cam, yeah, the 4.5 is kind of just keeping it simple, right? Like instead of overthinking everything and this and that, like it would be shocking if the Dodgers don't score 5 runs tonight.
I don't know if you guys can pull up a number. I don't see it, at least over on FanDuel, of his, total outs. But I would imagine it would be 14.5 or less, maybe even 13.5. Like, do they have him going past 4 1/3? Let
me see if they still have it.
Envision that world where he goes much deeper into this game than 4 innings, unless something out of the ordinary happens.
All right, I'm going to blow your mind. I got a number for his outs. 8.5, Mark.
8?
I've never seen that before. Like they're saying, wow. Like basically, will he go 3 innings? Like that's the bet. So it's 8.5. Will he go 3 innings?
The first syllable coming out of your mouth was 8. I thought you were going to go 18. I was going to go, no way. 8.5. And I'm like, oh, 8. Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's not a reason to believe he's going to last much deeper than that. I mean, at that number, you kind of have to play the over. If he only gives up 2 runs in the first, probably going to get a third because it's not viable to look at your bullpen getting, 18 outs, right? Like that's not where you want to go. So I think him to get to 3 innings feels actually like a bet I would make. The Dodgers really got to them last night when it came to the later innings. I mean, yes, it was Hunter Green, so it was a different conversation. Your ace is going to get a little bit more length there than what you'd think. I mean, again, Green only went 3 innings last night, but he also gave up 5 runs. Like that's the point. If he can get through the lineup, the first 6 guys and only give up 1 run, he's getting out there. That's kind of essentially the bet.
One of the lowest strikeouts ever, like 8.5. Not even that's.
Give me this. What is the Dodgers team total like 3 in the first 3 innings? They do the first 3 innings versus first 5. If you have the Dodgers at 2.5, that's really the line of demarcation. If they get to 3 before 3 innings, he's probably getting yanked. And that's really, I wouldn't hang in this game long. I don't think there's reason to hang in this game long if you're betting anything, because the longer it goes, the more it favors the Dodgers minus 1.5, the more it favors the Dodgers team total, the more it favors the Dodgers scoring a lot of runs. And with the Reds bullpen being what it is, which is average at best, it's not a situation where I feel like, the bullpen's going to be able to save Cincinnati here. It's got to be Littell, and you're either banking on the fact that he's going to do something unexpected and give you 4 or 5 solid innings, or he's going to be done by the 3rd inning because he gave up at least 3 runs. So if the Dodgers run total is 2.5 or less and I don't think it would be, I think it would only be 1.5. That may be the other play. Dodgers over 1.5 in the first 3 innings, because that's anything more than 2, he's done.
Me hosting the MMA show and talking as much MMA as I do, again, I can't help but think of Chuck Liddell Cam all the time. When I see Lytle's name here, Lytle's name.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just thinking the Iceman, Chuck Liddell, old school, baby. So the Dodgers have started with the Reds, and nice to see Mary Hart in attendance in her seat nice and early tonight once again. Larry King is no longer with us, so Mary Hart, the celebrity fan. So the game has started in Los Angeles. Mark, Yankees, some big-time drama tonight late in this baseball game. Man, like just, various different situations and this and that. But when it was all said and done, Yankees made some plays defensively. Chisholm keeps the ball in the infield. His speed comes through. They, no one else would have really scored that run for them. So his speed comes through at the plate.
I'll say this much. I have a group of a text group with my brother and all the kids we grew up with as Yankee fans. And as soon as Jazz got on, I immediately started firing off texts. Send him first pitch now. Send him.
Yeah.
Out because the likelihood of a base hit from this team to get a run is so small. If it's not a home run, they don't score. And what a lucky break it was for the Yankees. If that ball stays down the line, one of two things guarantee happens. Either he doesn't get sent or he actually gets thrown out. The fact that that ball caromed off the side and made the right fielder take the extra steps to come in is what allowed that run to score. It genuinely did.
When it happened, I said out loud, Mark, I said, the baseball gods finally sort of shine on the Yankees a little bit. Just the whole sequence, the way it lingered in the air, it took a long time, caroms, and he was still barely that safe, right? But that's the margin of error, right, Mark and Cam? That's the margin of error in the baseball playoffs, literally. Crazy start to this Dodger game, too. Kiki Hernandez with a big-time play.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Well, Shadur, which quarterbacks are you talking about? Because there's some bad quarterback play out there, but the dude who can't beat dealing Gabriel out for a job and can't beat Joe Flacco out for a job certainly can't lay claim to being better than any other quarterback in the league.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
MVP hopes, as far as my eyes can see, out of here. No way. No way. Not with what I'm seeing around this league right now. Josh Allen should be in front of him. He is. Herbert should be in front of him. He's not just yet. Jalen Hurts should be in front of Lamar Jackson. People may not want to hear that, but it's true. Jordan Love is in front of Lamar Jackson. That's a pump the brake special. Come on now.
Game time decisions. Only on SportsGrid.
Major League Baseball has decided it is time to put balls and strikes not just in the hands of the umpires, but also the robot umpires, as they say. The ABS system is now officially in place starting next season. Now, keep in mind, they're not just throwing this out there. They have used this at the Arizona Fall League, and they've also used it at different levels of the minor leagues as well.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Everything changed at that point. They went and got Jonquil Jones, and they really had that triple threat monster team. That second year they lost in the WNBA Finals, 3-1 against the Las Vegas Aces. Year 3, they finally get over the top hump. You can question whether they should have won the title with that foul call late in Game 5 that sent Breanna Stewart to the foul line.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
In-game live continues. I am Gabriel Morency. We're kicking to Cam Stewart in the house tonight. We got Mark Zito with us. One thing I'll tell you guys, hardcore Dodger fan, I know Yamamoto, like a lot of aces, he can get hit early in these games. And you saw he got smoked on the first pitch of the game, and Kiki Hernandez made a crazy catch. And I tell you, if Kiki Hernandez could play like he does in the playoffs all the time, he'd be like $100 millionaire. Well, actually, he probably still is. So he'd be a billionaire. He probably still is $100 millionaire, considering he's been around long enough. But just one of these guys that makes big games, big plays in big games in the postseason. So Mark Zito with us. We'll keep our eye on this. Austin Hayes up right now. Yamamoto hasn't struck anybody out yet, so I'm not happy about that. But here's a weird hit ball, too, in the nowhere land. But you got to be kidding me. I would say you got to be kidding me, but this isn't new. Man, we saw this today in the Cleveland game where the center fielder dropped the ball. He lost it in the sun. Teoscar Hernandez just casually dropped the puck fly. Like, it was in a weird spot. When I said it was in nowhere's land, it kind of was, but he was playing shallow. So, like, he didn't come from that far. Like, he really, literally, like, dude, what are you doing? He just, like, and I don't know why Dave Roberts, Mark, look, he's like, oh, see if it's fair or foul. It's clearly fair. It's clearly a fair ball. Yeah. I don't know what Dave Roberts is looking at here.
Well, I bet the over before the next guy gets up and hope you get a base hit.
No, he just misplayed it. There's no sign. That's crazy. Wow.
You got to make that play. Listen, you got to make that play. All right, so let me throw these games at you here, Mark. Detroit, you got Flaherty going tomorrow, -105. Guardians get it done today. Listen, even with these pitchers on the hill, the total is 7. It's hard to want to bet an over with these two teams. Like, they can't score, bro. Like, it's painful watching it almost.
Imagine having the over today and it's 3-1, and then Naylor hits that the under rather. Naylor hits that 3-run bomb.
I know. I know. I got to push at 7. I got to push. I played it at 7. I got to push because of all that.
Yeah. I had a buddy of mine who played it at 6.5, and I was afraid to text him. I didn't know the number that he had. I assumed he had that thing just kill your over, or did you get a push? He's like, nope, under. And he's like, that just kill your under? He's like, yeah, it did. I'm like, oh God, that's awful. Brutal beat there. But yeah, I mean, I don't trust Detroit. I still think, Skubal is Skubal, but everybody else is broken on that team, and I don't see them doing much. I mean, Slade Ciccone is sort of a wild card. You've seen him have some decent starts. His home splits aren't great. He's got an ERA touching 5. 14 of his 24 home runs have come on the road. I mean, at home, rather. And, you're looking at a guy whose strikeouts are way down at home, comparatively speaking, to on the road. He's got more strikeouts and less innings on the road than he does at home. So I don't know what to expect from him. But this feels like the game where after 2 low-scoring games for, let's call it the first 17 innings between these two teams, this feels like the early over. I would probably look to first 5 over here. Look, if Flaherty isn't on, you're going to know it early, right? That's kind of his MO. If he's on, he's probably going to be shut out innings through 5, and it's hard to trust this Cleveland lineup because, God, they are painful to watch. They had 2 hits through 7 innings. Like 2 hits. One of them happened to be a home run, but it's just not a sustainable formula for this Guardians team. But I just don't trust Detroit. When all is said and done, I think emotionally they're spent from what happened to them in the regular season. And if it wasn't Skubal giving an ace Cy Young performance in game 1, this thing probably would already be over.
The Cincinnati Reds take advantage of Teoscar Hernandez's error and cash in 2 runs. 2-0 Cincinnati.
What I tell you,
2-0. Wow. New in-game total, 9.5 right now. New updated number, Dodgers -130, Reds +100. Guys, Teoscar Hernandez, he's been very sloppy over the last month and a half or so. Like, has this kind of been a thing? But he always bounces back offensively in the game after. So, like, throwing it out here in game, guys. Let's add Teoscar Hernandez to our home run card. He's going to smoke one. He did this, like, he cost the Dodgers a game a couple of weeks ago with his defense in Colorado, I think it was. And the next game he went off and he dropped he's done this a few times, but he's responded like later in the game. He'll hit a home run and everyone sort of calms down. But it has been it's rearing its ugly head, the Dodgers. They were better last year with Mookie Betts in right field. Like, he really, 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 really helped them a lot. Like, he cut off balls. Like, he's that good that he can play anywhere. Darvish and the Cubs. Cam, what's your pick? And then we'll throw it to Mark here. We only got 2 minutes with Mark here. I'm taking San Diego, guys. Cam, what's your pick? San Diego or Chicago?
I'm taking San Diego. I agree with Zeno. I think Cleveland's going to win that game. Flaherty can be hit, but I like the Padres. I like the way they're playing. I got to give these guys credit. Their pitching has been absolutely phenomenal. Been both games under in this series, but I trust San Diego a little bit more. Give me the Padres, Gabe. Should be a close one, though.
You Darvish versus Ty on tomorrow, Mark. Who do you trust more?
I trust the over. Then again, I'm somebody who bet the over in the first two games based off the fact that I thought the Padres would actually score. And their bats, they're kind of slow to come around. The 3-0 win today was a little bit of a surprise with Dylan Cease not getting touched up at all. But there's going to be a breakout game for both of these teams. At least one of these teams offensively that scores 5, plus runs here. And I think eventually we're going to get an over, especially with Tyone, who's not exactly like a high-level starter where a guy that you trust a ton to be able to get a lot of outs. So I would look to the over. I'm with Cam. I lean a little bit on the Padres. I think they're the better team here, but it'll be interesting to see if the Cubs bats wake up and they score a lot at home as they have all year long.
All right, so we got about a minute here. Conley Early. Conley Early will be the starter. And a military man, Mark, actually. So the kid pitched at Army. So I figured, he's mentally tough. He had that great debut, right? He set the record, most strikeouts in it for a Red Sox pitcher. But it's a lot of pressure. Obviously, he's only going to go a couple innings here. What's your pick? What do you think here? 30 seconds. Early versus Schlittler.
Schlittler at home has been a lot better, so give me the Yankees here.
Yankees minus 160 favorites, guys. Plus 135. And Rams Niners. Ton of injuries for the Niners. What are you doing that game tomorrow? You going to play the Rams or the Niners?
I'll probably just take the Niners. Shanahan seems to only play in the Rams.
Shadur, which quarterbacks are you talking about? Because there's some bad quarterback play out there, but the dude who can't beat Wetzel Gabriel out for a job and can't beat Joe Flacco out for a job certainly can't lay claim to being better than any other quarterback in the league.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
That's a lot for a closer. 10. You're not a closer anymore if you blow 10 games. I mean, my goodness. That's
he's mentally broken too. Like, it's to the point where like Dodger fans aren't even mad at him; they're more mad at the Dodgers for putting him out there.
Putting him in.
Right? It's more so.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, guys, like he's done.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Major League Baseball has decided it is time to put balls and strikes not just in the hands of the umpires, but also the robot umpires, as they say. The ABS system is now officially in place starting next season. Now, keep in mind, they're not just throwing this out there. They have used this at the Arizona Fall League, and they've also used it at different levels of the minor leagues as well.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Everything changed at that point. They went and got Jonquil Jones, and they really had that triple threat monster team. That second year they lost in the WNBA Finals, 3-1 against the Las Vegas Aces. Year 3, they finally get over the top hump. You can question whether they should have won the title with that foul call late in Game 5 that sent Breanna Stewart to the foul line.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
In-game live continues. I'm Gabriel Morency, SportsGrid Radio and Television Network. And this Dodger game, a lot like a lot of regular season Dodger games, to be honest with you. Anybody that watches the Dodgers nightly knows they were often down 2-0 early. Like, this is not new to them. Yamamoto is, at times a little bit shaky early in baseball games, and he settles down. That's his MO. But he wasn't getting rocked. I mean, he hit a batter. He got hit hard on the first pitch of the game, essentially the first batter. A nice play by, I think it was the first pitch even, with Kiki Hernandez. But he was getting out of the inning. Teoscar Hernandez dropped the ball, like literally and figuratively. And, the small things will burn you. The Dodgers are good enough offensively, I think, to overcome that like tonight, but not ideal, but pretty good for a betting situation. You can now, like I said, the Dodgers are like minus 300 favorites in this game. So now you're getting the Dodgers. They're minus 140. And all right, and here we go. Mookie Betts just won his over 1.5 total bases. Mookie Betts with the double. Boom. That was a plus 100 play for Mookie Betts. Like I said, Cam, you can't really go wrong.
Bet it now. Like, yeah.
If you play, well, you're getting a minus 140 right now, and they have a runner on second. Good price. They're going to come back. I'm not panicked. I'm not happy about this for the run line. Like, you know what I mean? This could turn into one of these games, though. Like I said, the Dodgers could put a crooked number up, and Teoscar Hernandez is coming up here soon. I'm expecting Teoscar to drill one here. Like, he is really good. He's been really bad this year in right field, like more so than usual. Like he wasn't a liability really before. It was like, yeah, he's not great defensively, but don't worry about it. Like don't worry, it's not a problem. It's a problem now. It's been a problem. It's been a problem for a couple of months. It really has been. Like, he's been really upset by it. He got upset by the media. They got in his face about it a couple of times. And it was the classic. I got the same answer once from a baseball player in a clubhouse. And they asked him, so Teoscar, what happened on the pop fly that you dropped? And he basically said, he hit it and I dropped it. That's what happened. And I asked Javier Vasquez once, they were playing Barry Bonds. I didn't have a choice. Like, it was about Bonds, and Bonds was hitting all the home runs and stuff. And I said to after the game, and Vasquez liked me normally too. But he was right after the game. He wasn't in a good mood. He was really mad. And everybody was around his locker asking him about Barry Bonds. So I made the brutal mistake, man, rookie mistake of asking, what happened on the pitch? I said, so what happened on the pitch, Javier, to Bonds? And he gave me the same line. What? And he goes, what effing happened? He goes, you saw what happened. He goes, I threw it and he hit a home run. That's what effing happened. And then he got madder, sort of. He goes, he goes, that's a really dumb question. He goes, that's a dumb question. What happened? He goes, you should know better. Like, normally, he goes, I'm surprised at you. You should know better. Well, what do you mean? What happened? And I was kind of like, whoa. Like, and even after his team, a couple of guys on the team were like, oh, he's a hothead after games all the time. Like, but yeah, what happened? And then after he goes, well, I'll tell you what happened. He goes, you think that was what I always remembered. He goes, you think I'm the only effing one man ever give up a home run to Barry Bonds? I was like, dude, I'm not like calling you out on it. I was just asking you like what happened on the pitch. But so Teoscar just popped out. Good job, Teoscar. So yeah, 2-0 for the Cincinnati Reds. Dodgers go down to minus 115. Total 8.5 right now. So we were talking earlier about the Red Sox pitching situation tomorrow. This early kid, if you're unfamiliar with he just got called up like 3 weeks ago, a month ago or whatnot. And if you remember, we were on the air actually when he was making his debut. I was in Sacramento, as I remember off the top of my head. He was in Sacramento, and he set the record. He had 11 strikeouts. I think it was 11 or 13. I think it was 11. He set the rookie record for the Red Sox, like most strikeouts for a pitcher in the Red Sox history in their debut, which is saying something, Cam, because the Red Sox they've been playing baseball for a long time. So he had the best debut out of any pitcher ever in their organization. Super impressive. And I started to learn a little bit about the kid, about the game, and I bet a strikeout prop that night, and I watched the game. So I was like, all right, I'm going to watch this kid and stuff. And, I learned a little bit about him. He pitched at Army. So he went to Army, and he played for Army. He pitched for Army. He was really good in college. He was a big-time star and stuff. And if you look at him, it was a little bit of a blip. He had 11 strikeouts, then he had 7 strikeouts, then he had 4 strikeouts, then he had 7 strikeouts. One thing I like about this for him is the fact that he hasn't pitched against the Yankees before. I always think it's an advantage, Cam, for the pitcher, right? They haven't seen him before. And it's pretty bizarre, actually. Like, he pitched against the Athletics 2 times in a row, which is awkward and hard.
Shadur, which quarterbacks are you talking about? Because there's some bad quarterback play out there, but the dude who can't beat Dylan Gabriel out for a job and can't beat Joe Flacco out for a job certainly can't lay claim to being better than any other quarterback in the league.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
That's a lot for a closer. 10. That's you're not a closer anymore if you blow 10 games. I mean, my goodness. That's
He's mentally broken too. Like, it's to the point where, like, Dodger fans aren't even mad at him; they're more mad at the Dodgers for putting him out there.
Putting him in.
Right? It's more so.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, guys, like, he's done.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Major League Baseball has decided it is time to put balls and strikes not just in the hands of the umpires, but also the robot umpires, as they say. The ABS system is now officially in place starting next season. Now, keep in mind, they're not just throwing this out there. They have used this at the Arizona Fall League, and they've also used it at different levels of the minor leagues as well.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Everything changed at that point. They went and got Jonquil Jones, and they really had that triple threat monster team. That second year they lost in the WNBA Finals, 3-1 against the Las Vegas Aces. Year 3, they finally get over the top hump. And you can question whether they should have won the title with that foul call late in Game 5 that sent Breanna Stewart to the foul line.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
In-game live continues. I'm Gabriel Morency, SportsGrid Radio and Television Network. 2-0 for the Cincinnati Reds. Top of the second inning. Good start for the Reds. Kind of expected. You knew they were going to punch back a little bit after last night. They got drilled and lit up early, so you knew they were going to be very eager to get the first couple of runs and avoid sort of letting the wheels fall off early in the baseball game like they did last night. And you know, no one's going to admit it. It is what it is. The Dodgers are World Series champions, so you figure that each game is, you know, they're going to get up for each game, and each game is equal, but it's human nature, right? If you're up on a team 10-2 and stuff, and you're playing them again the next day, like I said, the Dodgers, like we're talking earlier today, the Reds are dangerous, and, you know, they worry us, and they're really fast, and I just couldn't help but think about, like, Lou Holtz, like when Lou Holtz was playing like an 0-9, like, Navy team. And he's like, gosh darn it, you know, I watched the tape, and that's the best 0-9 team I've seen before. That's the best 0-9 team in the country. Like, yeah, they're 0-9, but I got to tell you, they're good. Like, that's a good team. Like, yeah, I don't know how they're 0-9. Like, they should be 9-0. It's like, all right, settle down, coach. Like, so I sort of got that, like, today with the Dodgers. I was like, you're overdoing it, guys. I know in the clubhouse, you're like, oh, yeah, we're going to kill them. Like, yeah, I sort of felt like, why are you talking like this? Like, oh, the Reds worry us, and they're fast. And, like, I'm like, okay, here we are. Brady Cannon is back in the house with us. Talk some Sanderson Farms, right? We go from the Ryder Cup, the peak of intensity, to the Sanderson Farms, but the Ryder Cup fallout continues still, Brady. What were your thoughts on the tournament?
Well, Sunday was electric when we finally made a game of it, the United States side. Cam and I were talking before we came on here. He did great with Fleetwood and Cam Young. I had Cam Young for top U.S. scorer. I had Europe to win by exactly 1 to 3 points. So, yeah, we did pretty well as far as the bets. It just upsets me. I mean, you wonder how long this competition is actually going to continue to be staged with fans, because I thought that was a complete embarrassment. You know, the Yahoos in New York there, and the chants and the slurs and the cursing and throwing beer on Rory's wife. I mean, come on, it's not good. I would expect a lot better behavior in the Midwest in 4 years in Minnesota, it feels like, you're kind of asking for trouble in a place like New York or something like that.
And you know what? I think the fans should know better in the sense, too. The Europeans fed off of it, Brady. Like, they want to win more. Like, that's one of the things coming in. They want to win more, and all that stuff magnified it even more so. And I don't think Rory's an angel, right? Rory eggs the fans on, and then he gets all, oh, hey, look at the fan talking to me. And some of the fans cross the line. But the boorish behavior is just, it's way, way over the top. And as someone that bet on Europe, I was like, keep on doing this, guys, because they're just going to want to beat you more now.
And the other, you're like, I mean, you're what, 10 feet away from these golfers? I mean, it's one thing if you're sitting in the stands at a baseball game and you're yelling, profanities or whatever, probably not as big of a deal. But then, you've got families around you and stuff. There's kids there. But the point is, you're right on top of these guys. I mean, gosh, you would think to have a little bit of integrity and have a little bit of class. And
Brady,
that was really disappointing.
When does an MC quit because of the F Rory chance? He's like, I'm done with this. This is classless. I'm out of here, Gabe. Like, that never happens. The guy's like, I'm not working anymore. This is disgusting.
No, you got it to back it up, Cam. She didn't quit. She got fired because she led on the chant.
Yeah.
She didn't quit.
Yeah.
She led the chant. She participated in the chant. She didn't like that. She didn't like she was no moral high road. They were like, what the hell's wrong with you? The fans were chanting and she jumped in. Like, she encouraged it. But yeah, like I said, it helps. I thought it just sort of helped Europe, but it's intense. But like you said, Brady, you got to wonder, right? Like, moving forward, I didn't think it would be that bad. Maybe I was naive, guys. I thought that,
think so either,
man,
but boy, it got out of control.
I thought, Brady, the tickets are so damn expensive.
Right.
I thought, no, it won't be that bad. Like, I go to like, the Rose Bowl, or I've been to like, championship games and stuff like that. Money keeps riffraff out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was my whole thing. I'm surprised. I'm like, man, it's like $5,000 to get on the course. Like, but that was the epitome of the rich, spoiled brat kid, Brady. Point blank.
Yeah.
Bunch of rich daddy kids with big money, man, running their mouths.
Absolutely.
We never get this at the President's Cup, Gabe. We never get this at the President's Cup. Canada, Korea, Japan. It's like friendly. Hey, we're playing golf. You know what I mean? It's a more honorable.
Dude, if you acted like that in a tournament in Japan, man, they'd put you in the electric chair there. Like, you'd be
you're
like,
right.
How about the fans?
Like, the behavior, they'd be like, you're an embarrassment to our country. You're under arrest. Like,
how about the fans? Take a page out of what they're seeing on the course. These guys finish up a match with each other. They shake hands, they hug. These guys are all buddies. Yeah, they want to knock each other on the dirt, as far as the competition. But at the end of the day, when the match is over, they hug each other, they shake hands. They're friends. They play golf together all the time. So I think the fans need to realize, hey, these two sides don't hate each other, and we shouldn't either.
Just a quick to wrap it up. Tom Watson, who's always been a classy individual. Tom Watson ashamed of fan behavior. Beth Page congratulates Europe for the victory. Your team, the first few days was sensational. More importantly, I'd like to apologize for the rude and mean-spirited behavior from the American crowd at Beth Page. As a former player, captain, and as American, I am ashamed of what happened. Strong words, Brady, from Tom Watson, but classy words from Tom Watson.
I think he speaks for a lot of people in this country. I talked to my dad. I've talked to friends. I think he represents what a lot of people are feeling.
All right, so I'm assuming it won't be quite as hostile, guys, at the Sanderson Farms this week. Are people going to be out saying, screw you, Aske Batia, you suck.
Yeah,
hey,
exactly. Davis. Yeah, that's right. Thor Bjornsson, when are you going to win? Come on. You're right. This trophy's the best, too, Gabe. It's like a chicken. It's a chicken trophy. Yeah, the chicken trophy. It's a real classic.
Sanderson Farms, the chicken company.
Yeah.
One thing I'll say about golf, though, is very similar to the UFC. Like, they keep rolling on a weekly basis. Like, there's always seemingly a tournament. There's a tournament somewhere. Now we got the Sanderson Farms. When you looked at the odds, when you looked at the board, Brady, what was your initial reaction? Did it light up and go, yeah, I like this tournament?
Well, I hit the winner here last year, Kevin Yu, at 120-1. And I found, when I landed on him, I found a real strong correlation with a couple of the correlated courses this week. Torrey Pines being one of them, Corrales, where they play the Punta Cana. These golf courses where you have to be a really good total driver. Drive it long and straight. That's exactly what you have to do at Torrey Pines. And I probably pretty much went down the board with my selections this week for guys that do well on those golf courses. They made a lot of sense in my stats this week. These fairways are a little bit on the narrow side. There's no real rough to speak of. I think a lot of it has to do with off the tee here. Some of the bombers choose to just, wheel and hit it, and it doesn't matter. They bomb and gouge. The accurate guys find the fairways. They hit the greens. There's more than one way to skin this cat. But I think it all starts off the tee here. It's about how you do off the tee. And then, it's a little bit of a birdie fest. It'll be who has a hot putter for 3 or 4 days.
So who did you end up with? Who was your final selection as your winner?
I took Rico Hoey, #1 total driver on tour. Nikolai Højgaard. Played extremely well at Torrey Pines recently. Stefan Jägermeister. Cam, you like that one? Jaeger bombs.
I do.
Hayden Springer, another big hitter who can putt. Alex Smalley, and then Vince Whaley, another guy who hits it a long ways and can putt.
All right, hang in here, Brady. On the other side, we'll get Cam's picks and Brady's thoughts on Cam's picks. I threw Rico Hoey as my one dart today, and I see the Stewart dude likes him as well.
Well, Shadur, which quarterbacks are you talking about? Because there's some bad quarterback play out there, but the dude who can't beat Dylan Gabriel out for a job and can't beat Joe Flacco out for a job certainly can't lay claim to being better than any other quarterback in the league.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
That's a lot for a closer. 10. That's you're not a closer anymore if you blow 10 games. I mean, my goodness. That's
He's mentally broken too. Like, it's to the point where, like, Dodger fans aren't even mad at him; they're more mad at the Dodgers for putting him out there.
Putting him in,
right? It's more so.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, guys, like, he's done.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Major League Baseball has decided it is time to put balls and strikes not just in the hands of the umpires, but also the robot umpires, as they say. The ABS system is now officially in place starting next season. Now, keep in mind, they're not just throwing this out there. They have used this at the Arizona Fall League, and they've also used it at different levels of the minor leagues as well.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Everything changed at that point. They went and got Jonquil Jones, and they really had that triple threat monster team. That second year they lost in the WNBA Finals, 3-1 against the Las Vegas Aces. Year 3, they finally get over the top hump. You can question whether they should have won the title with that foul call late in Game 5 that sent Breanna Stewart to the foul line.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
In-game live continues. I'm Morency. We're kicking up Brady Cannon. In the house with us, Cam Stewart. Cincinnati Reds, the upstart Reds, giving the Dodgers all they can handle early right now. They're up 2-0 in the top of the third inning. And it's always the pitchers that you don't expect that end up pitching well, right? You can never assume anything. The updated number in this baseball game right now, the Los Angeles Dodgers are -120. Reds are -110. The total is currently 7.5 right now. And Yamamoto is starting to deal. He's settled down, but this game really should be 0-0, right? Teoscar Hernandez dropped the ball in right field, literally and figuratively. So Brady Cannon else. We'll get Can's picks in a second. Brady, we kind of rushed you on the way out there, but to recap what you got for people just joining us, Sanderson Farms, what do you got? I brought up Rico Hoey today on the podcast, actually, 35-1, and I didn't know that Keith Stewart took him as well. I saw that after taking Rico Hoey. And I don't know if 35-1, he's got a shot at winning, but plus 160 to be top 20, that's something that really attracted me, Brady, to Rico Hoey.
Yeah, we're all thinking the same way here. Keith Stewart, myself, both on Rico Hoey. Cam's got him for a top 20 finish. So join the party here, Gabe. We're all in on the Rico Hoey party here for some chicken in Jackson, Mississippi. Like I said, number one on tour in total driving and ball striking. And I think that's a big part of the puzzle you have to solve at this golf course. Nikolai Højgaard, very, very good player. One of the better players in this field. Maybe a little bit of inspiration from his brother there, who just came back home with the Ryder Cup winning victory in his hands. And Stefan Jaeger, another guy that's a bomber who can really putt. Hayden Springer. That was pretty much the formula for me. Guys that can bomb it and really putt. Hoey, Højgaard, Jaeger, Springer, Hayden Springer, Alex Smalley, and Vince Whaley.
Cam, who do you got?
I got Minwoo Lee at 22-1, and in this field, I like Brady's Højgaard pick because these are world-class players, and the prices are good in a weekend field. Thorbjornsen is not a great price, but I'm going to tell you, this kid went to Stanford. He's knocking on the door, and I think he's going to be there this week. I think he'll do really, really well. Garrett Higgo is a guy, I think he checks all the boxes. Par 4 scoring. This guy too, Brady, when he's on, and I think he can go really low. So I like him at that price. And Pearson Cootie's a guy that nobody really knows about, but he's playing very, very good golf at the end. And I added Mackenzie Hughes, the Canadian, who has won this tournament before, Gabe, 55-1, and his record in the silly season starting at this tournament is impeccable. He loves fall golf. My top 20s, I got Rico Hoey, plus 160, Mackenzie Hughes, plus 180, Max Homa, really cheering for him, plus 180, Luke Clanton, plus 180, and Jaeger bombs for me, you, and Brady, Steven Jaeger, plus 210. So we're reading each other's mail there.
All right, so there's the Sanderson Farms picks from Brady and Cam. Brady happens to be a Bay Area guy. San Francisco 49ers in action tomorrow. That injury list is pretty long, especially on the offensive side of the football, right? Pearsall's out, Jennings is out, Kittle is out, Purdy is out. Now, I wouldn't mind if Purdy was out if he had the weapons to work with. Mac Jones, always tough. And, there's a debate we were discussing earlier in the week. Is there a big drop-off actually between Purdy and Jones, et cetera? But always difficult for any quarterback, Brady, if he doesn't really have anybody to work with. Point spread's up to 7.5 right now. What's your opinion on the Thursday nighter?
Yeah, before all this injury news came out, I made the line 4.5, and I think 7.5 is probably spot on when you lose basically Purdy, and now you add Jennings and Pearsall. I mean, maybe it should be higher, just for the adjustments of losing all these weapons. You're absolutely right. It doesn't really matter who's at quarterback. What I worry about too, I mean, it could be a very good survivor play. I think the Rams, they should absolutely win the game. I think I'd probably lay it before I took it as well. The only thing that is interesting is Kyle Shanahan has owned Sean McVay. For some reason, the Niners always beat the Rams. And, that would kind of give me a little bit of hesitancy with laying the big number there. But I'll tell you what worries me, for the future, for the rest of this season for the 49ers is Christian McCaffrey, because all these other guys are out. This guy is getting more workload than anybody else in the NFL. The catches, the carries, the blocking, the chip blocks, the protection. He is just being worked over. And I don't think that is, real good for the 49ers or him lasting throughout the entire campaign.
Yeah, it's going to wear him out as the season goes on. Good point. What do you think about interesting you bring up the Rams for Survivor. Everybody's talking about Arizona this week, and it's a tough Survivor week. But with all these injuries, it kind of opens up the window for an LA Rams selection. But as far as the card is concerned this week, Brady, what are your thoughts on it? Do you like the card in the NFL? From a fan standpoint, it's not a glamorous week. There's a lot of really sort of bad teams playing each other. There's you don't really have those marquee matchups this week. But do you see any spots that you like to bet on?
Yeah, I picked out 3 at the beginning of the week that I think fall into some very strong situational trends. And the first one, you have kind of 2 at play here with the Baltimore Ravens. We know Lamar Jackson probably not going to play in this game. I think that brings a little bit of the fallen hero theory into play. The rest of the team, they know they're 1-3. Their quarterback's not going to play in this game. They're absolutely going to have to rally the troops. And I think they could really take care of business and put one on the Houston Texans, who are not really that good of a team. They have a good defense, but they have an awful offensive line. And I think you could see a real resurgent effort out of the Baltimore Ravens. The other thing about that situation is a 1-3 team that is coming off of a loss facing a team that is coming off of a win hits over 60% of the time. So that 1-3 team that's desperate against a team that maybe the line's a little bit inflated because they're coming off of a win. Conversely, with the 1-3 team coming off of a loss, which the Ravens are, maybe that line shouldn't be where it is either. I got it at 2.5 and immediately teased the Ravens up. Now I'm seeing it closer to 2 or even 1. So I think the market kind of leans towards the Blackbirds there. The other 1-3 team that's coming off of a loss, playing a team that is coming off of a win, is the Carolina Panthers catching points. That's the dance partner I teased with the Ravens. I think the Panthers are a good play this week. And finally, one other trend I love to play into, a home underdog that wins outright and in the next week goes out into the role of road favorite. Play against the Kansas City Chiefs. Won outright as a home dog. Now they're a road favorite. Give me Jacksonville +3 in the hook.
Leon Combs really brought an edge to this Jacksonville team. You know, you are what your coach's personality is, and this guy's a hothead, so they seem to have an edge to them now.
Shadur, which quarterbacks are you talking about? Because there is some bad quarterback play out there, but the dude who can't beat Dylan Gabriel out for a job and can't beat Joe Flacco out for a job certainly can't lay claim to being better than any other quarterback in the league.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
That's a lot for a closer. 10. That's you're not a closer anymore if you blow 10 games. I mean, my goodness. That's
he's mentally broken too. Like, it's to the point where, like, Dodger fans aren't even mad at him; they're more mad at the Dodgers for putting him out there.
Putting him in,
right? It's more so.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, guys, like, he's done.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Major League Baseball has decided it is time to put balls and strikes not just in the hands of the umpires, but also the robot umpires, as they say. The ABS system is now officially in place starting next season. Now, keep in mind, they're not just throwing this out there. They have used this at the Arizona Fall League, and they've also used it at different levels of the minor leagues as well.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Everything changed at that point. They went and got Jonquil Jones, and they really had that triple threat monster team. That second year they lost in the WNBA Finals, 3-1 against the Las Vegas Aces. Year 3, they finally get over the top hump, and you can question whether they should have won the title with that foul call late in Game 5 that sent Breanna Stewart to the foul line.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
All right, let's roll on the SportsGrid Radio and Television Network. I'm Morency. We're coming down the stretch right now. So it was a light night tonight. We got a full slate of baseball games, so I'll give Cam the floor here. Cam, what are your baseball picks for the games tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I'm going to take the Cleveland Guardians with a pick'em. Ciccone, I think he can get it done. Flaherty hit and miss, but I really agreed with what Mark Zeno said. I think the Tigers, they just don't have that spark, and I'm going to ride the Guardians again. Next game, Yu Darvish and the Padres. They're a small pooch to the Cubs. I like that game. I actually think that for the first time, maybe the Detroit-Cleveland game over. And in the other game, Early is pitching for Boston. That is now confirmed on FanDuel. I like the New York Yankees, though, at minus 160. He better go deep because they've thrown a lot of arms out there. Yankees, Padres, Guardians.
I think the Guardians get it done. I lean San Diego as well. I think the San Diego game in Chicago, there could be some runs up on the board. There's got to be some drama. Not everyone, not every game's just going to be sort of dull and a home run here or there. So I could see some runs in that game tomorrow at Wrigley. It's a low enough total, but I think the Red Sox, I'll take the Red Sox tomorrow, and I'll have a bunch of baseball props tomorrow. We got a soccer game coming up actually tonight, a really weird matchup. It's the Vancouver Whitecaps versus Vancouver FC. It's freaking confusing. And so Vancouver FC play in the CPL, the Canadian Premier League, but it's like the U.S. Open Cup. Like, you know what I mean? Like the USL teams play against the MLS teams. It's like, it's like in Europe when they give the second tier teams a shot against the big boys, so to speak. They actually made it to the finals of this Canadian Championship. If they win this game tonight, they're in the CONCACAF Club Cup. Like, they'd be playing against like real teams and stuff. Right? Like, it's amazing. It's one of those like crazy stories. The thing is, they're not good, right? Like, it's a miracle. They're in dead last. They're in last place in the CPL. They've won 4 games out of 26 games this year. They've been outscored 54-32, but whatever. They won a couple of games in this tournament, and they end up in the final against the Vancouver Whitecaps. Like, all the fans of Vancouver FC are actually Whitecap fans. Like, it's basically like the second-tier team in the city type of deal. So it's a real strange matchup. The number keeps coming down, which baffles me. Like, the Whitecaps were minus 1,200 on the money line yesterday. Now it's down to minus 600. Fine, it's great parlay material. I say you slam the Whitecaps minus the 2.5 goals plus 100. The Whitecaps just played against one of these CPL teams that were good. Who was it? It was the Forge, who were the best team in the CPL. And the Whitecaps beat them 4-0. And the Whitecaps don't even start all their starters because they don't want to get guys hurt against a team that, like, it's like a mismatch. But they want to win the championship and get a trophy and stuff. Lay the 2.5. I think the final score is going to be 4 or 5-0. So let's go minus 2.5 in the game. And as far as the total is concerned, let's go over 3.5 in the game. Because like I said, I think they're going to win like minimum 3-0, probably 4-0, probably 5-0. They can name their score. I don't think they want to humiliate them because a lot of the players on Vancouver FC came from the Vancouver Whitecap youth team, right? It's sort of like, it's the same city and stuff. Like, they're kind of buddies. It's a weird little... And it's funny, Cam, in Vancouver, there's like a lot of smack talk now suddenly between Vancouver and Langley. Langley, BC. Because they're like, you're not even, why you call yourself like Whitecaps fans. You're like, you're not really Vancouver. You're Langley. You shouldn't even be called Vancouver. I'm like, do you really care? Who cares? But you're going to win 5-0 anyways. But the game's on TSN tonight. It's a big game. Like I said, it sounds like a stupid game and stuff, like a big mismatch, but the winner is in the CONCACAF Club Championship. Like, you got to qualify for this stuff, and this is how you qualify. And also, the Whitecaps are trying to become the winningest team in Canadian history as far as their championships are concerned. So, lay the 2.5 with the Whitecaps. Go over 3.5 with the goals in the game. Whitecaps are going to win 4-0, I'll say. And give me the Guardians to survive tomorrow. Give me the Cubs, San Diego, over the number. And we'll be on tomorrow night during the football game and during the Red Sox-Yankee game, in which I will be on the Boston Red Sox as underdogs. Good job, Cam. Thanks to Mark Zeno for joining us. Paul Bovey, Brady Cannon, thanks to our crew and Master Control tonight. Great time of the sports year right now, man. We got baseball playoffs, We got hockey around the corner. Thursday night football tomorrow night. We'll see you there. Other than that, you're on your own. Later.